8 things immigrants are no longer allowed in the UK Immigration Update 2025. Big changes are coming to UK immigration in 2025, and immigrants could be facing new restrictions that could impact your future plans. From stricter visas to tighter work rules, here are 8 things you're no longer allowed to do in the UK and what you need to know to avoid surprises. Welcome back to UK View, your go-to source for the latest UK immigration updates. In today's video, we're diving into the 8 major changes that immigrants need to know about in 2025. From tougher visa rules to new restrictions, this could change the way you plan your future in the UK. Let's get into it.
Staying on top of changes here in the UK can feel like a real challenge, can't it? It feels like things are constantly shifting, and knowing what is just more important than ever.
Absolutely.
So for this deep dive, we're tackling exactly that. The recent and upcoming changes that are going to affect people right here in the UK. And as always, we're doing this with the sources you, our listeners, have sent in.
That's right. And we've got a really interesting mix this time. We're looking at everything from, potential opportunities highlighted by Nurse Melvis on YouTube.
Right, some positive stuff there.
Yeah, exactly. And then a more sort of analytical take on new immigration rules from UK View. And then a really quite a cautionary story shared by Tochi Esther. It gives us a broad picture.
It does. Our goal today is really to get to the heart of these different viewpoints, pull out the crucial information, and just give you a clear sense of what these updates actually mean.
Yeah, the practical side.
Exactly. No super complicated jargon, just the key takeaways you need.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with some news that could be welcome for many on the
Hi and welcome to my channel. So very exciting times in the UK because the current UK government has announced and confirmed 4 massive changes that will be affecting millions of people in the UK. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you what these 4 changes are. So if you're watching this, whether you're already in this beautiful, amazing country or you're still out of the UK considering relocating to this country, then these rules are gonna be perfect for you, and you want to make sure that you're watching this video till the very end so that you get all of the details. If you're already in the UK, it's a matter of urgency that you're watching this till the end to get all of these changes, because like I say, 100% you will be affected. So before I get into the nitty-gritty, leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me where you're watching this from. So in which country are you at the moment, and what is the objective that you've got at the moment? Is it career progression? Is it relocation? Are you trying to switch? Are you on sponsorship? Do you need visa sponsorship? Just let me know in the comment section.
financial front.
Indeed. According to Nurse Melvis, there's an announced increase in the national minimum wage.
So,
It's set to go up to £12.21. That's supposed to be April 2025.
right, £12.21.
Yeah. So this is something that will certainly, have an impact for people in lower paying jobs, and maybe a consideration for anyone thinking about moving here for work.
A boost to the minimum wage is, well, it's generally positive news, isn't it? However, Nurse Melvis also brings in a really important point about the bigger picture, sort of the earning potential side of things.
Right. She emphasizes that while, a minimum wage increase is a baseline, the real key to getting significant pay bumps is career progression.
Ah, okay, so not just relying on the minimum going up.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is the personal story she shares to kind of back this up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she started as a carer, earning, I think she said £16,000.
Wow, okay.
And progressed all the way to become an advanced nurse practitioner. And crucially, she highlights how her employers actually sponsored her education.
They paid for it.
Yeah, paid for 2 master's degrees while she was earning. First £30,000, then £50,000 a year.
That's amazing. So investing in skills really paid off for her.
It really shows the potential, doesn't it?
It really does. And she contrasts this, you mentioned, with a colleague.
Yeah, a colleague who, after 13 years in the same care home role, now earns £23,000.
13 years.
Yeah.
£23,000.
Yeah.
That really puts it into perspective, the difference progression can make.
It does. That minimum wage increase is a step, sure, but maybe not the huge leap some might hope for long term if they stay in the same role.
Yeah. She even mentioned, didn't she, turning down a really high-paying job.
Oh yeah, a £100,000 nursing job to focus on other things like remote work, apparently.
Wow.
And it's important to remember her point, too, that inflation, the rate of inflation might actually be higher than this minimum wage increase.
That's a crucial bit of context.
Yeah.
So the real-world buying power.
Exactly. It might not feel like much of an increase once you factor that in. It kind of dampens the good news slightly, maybe.
It does temper it a bit. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's wages. Now, moving on, Nurse Melvis also talked about changes for agency workers.
Yes, that's right. It sounds like there's a new rule coming in where if an agency worker's shift gets canceled, like really short notice,
Yeah, which happens a lot, I hear.
it does. They'll get some form of compensation.
Oh, okay. That feels like a step towards more security for them.
It does. The government's stated aim is apparently to strengthen rights for people on zero-hour contracts and agency work.
Right.
Nurse Melvis acknowledges, the flexibility is why many people do it.
Sure, that's the appeal.
But there's also this push towards ensuring, a minimum number of hours per week for those who need more stability.
So trying to balance flexibility with security.
Seems like it, yeah. It's a tricky balance to strike, I imagine.
Definitely. And sticking with healthcare for a moment, Nurse Melvis mentioned free nursing courses. That sounds significant.
Yeah, apparently you can study nursing in the UK for free if you get employer sponsorship.
Right.
And she said in her video, applications were open then, at the time she recorded it.
Wow. Okay, so potentially a really good opportunity.
And what's really compelling, she says, is that students can even get paid while they study.
Paid while studying for free.
Yeah, and this apparently can even apply to people who need visa sponsorship. Her own experience of getting sponsored kind of adds weight to it,
Absolutely. That's definitely something worth investigating if you're thinking about nursing in the UK.
For sure.
Okay, and speaking of different ways to earn, Nurse Melvis seemed quite keen on work-from-home opportunities.
Oh, very enthusiastic. Yeah, she runs what she calls a work-from-home tribe.
A tribe, okay. Offering support and resources.
Yeah, CV samples, cover letters, live master classes, that sort of thing.
And the potential income she mentioned was, well, pretty high.
Strikingly high, yeah. She suggests earnings could be much higher than traditional nursing, mentioning figures like 15,000 to 20,000 pounds per month.
Per month? Wow. And that's separate from her nursing job.
That's what she claims, yeah. Separate from her regular nursing income.
That is quite something. And she emphasizes these are accessible.
Yeah, often just needing a smartphone and internet paints a picture of, potentially very rewarding and flexible work.
It does make you wonder, though, what kind of roles are paying that much from home?
Exactly. It raises questions, doesn't it? What skills do you need? Is it sustainable? But, the fact she's built a community around it suggests there's definitely something growing there in remote work.
True. Okay, one more point from Nurse Melvis before we switch gears. Sick pay.
Ah, yes. Statutory sick pay. She mentioned it's increasing in the UK.
Do we know the new figure?
It's set to rise to 118.75 per week.
Okay, 118.75.
Yeah, it's a modest increase,
Yeah.
but she makes a really important point about just the fundamental right to take sick leave when you need it.
Regardless of visa status, she said.
Exactly, and she mentioned the NHS specifically as potentially being quite supportive about that, health first.
Good point. Okay, so that's a good summary of the points from Nurse Melvis. Generally some potentially positive changes and opportunities, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely tilted towards opportunities and worker rights improvements.
Right. Now let's shift focus. We need to look at the videos from UK View and Tochi Esther, which delves more into changes and potential challenges around immigration rules.
Yes, and it's fair to say the tone shifts quite a bit here.
UK View outlines several pretty significant restrictions coming into effect. Firstly, the points-based immigration system.
Yes, it's full implementation as of January 2025. And
8 things immigrants are no longer allowed in the UK Immigration Update 2025. Big changes are coming to UK immigration in 2025, and immigrants could be facing new restrictions that could impact your future plans. From stricter visas to tighter work rules, here are 8 things you're no longer allowed to do in the UK and what you need to know to avoid surprises. Welcome back to UK View, your go-to source for the latest UK immigration updates. In today's video, we're diving into the 8 major changes that immigrants need to know about in 2025.
And this really marks the end of free movement for workers from the European Union.
So that automatic right for EU citizens to just come and work here,
Yeah.
that's gone.
Gone, yeah. Now, people from the EU will need a job offer, they'll have to meet salary requirements, earn points based on qualifications, skills.
Just like non-EU nationals have had to for a while.
Exactly. It's a much more structured system, and yeah, definitely more restrictive than before for EU citizens.
That's a massive change. What else did UK View highlight?
Well, stricter rules for non-EU international students, too.
Ah, okay. How so?
A reduction in working hours during term time, down from 20 hours a week to just 10.
Only 10 hours. Wow. That could make things tough financially for students.
It likely will, yeah. Many rely on that part-time work. The stated aim is, to ensure they focus on studies.
I see. And are there limits on the types of jobs, too?
Yes, limiting roles in sectors like retail and hospitality, apparently. So fewer options all around.
Okay. And what about families? People wanting to bring relatives over?
That's getting tougher too, according to UK View. Stricter financial requirements for sponsors in the UK.
So the person here needs to earn more money to bring their spouse or kids over.
Essentially, yes. Higher income thresholds. This could really challenge immigrants who, might struggle to meet those new levels.
Potentially delaying or even preventing families from reuniting.
It could, yeah. And there's also apparently increased scrutiny on whether the relationship is genuine. Another hurdle.
And appeals, if someone's application is refused.
The scope for appealing Home Office decisions, especially human rights claims, has been restricted.
Restricted how?
Appeals are now only available in more limited circumstances. It cuts down the avenues for challenging a decision you think is unfair.
So less room to argue your case if things go wrong.
Seems that way. Suggests a move towards a maybe more streamlined but potentially less flexible system.
Right. Now, interestingly, even healthcare workers who you'd think the UK needs are facing tighter rules.
Yes. According to UK View, stricter criteria on qualifications, experience, language skills.
Even for doctors and nurses.
For healthcare professionals seeking visas, yeah. Plus, potentially higher visa fees and healthcare contributions, too.
That could make it harder, maybe more expensive, for overseas health staff to come here.
Potentially, yeah. It might signal a push towards training more people domestically, perhaps.
Maybe. And one more from UK View. Visa-free travel.
Ah, yeah. They highlighted that the UK is phasing out visa-free travel deals with several countries.
Including some Commonwealth ones.
Yeah. So people from countries who didn't need a visa for, say, tourism or short business trips
will now need to apply for one.
Exactly. Adds another layer of bureaucracy for travelers from those places. Another sign of tighter borders.
My name is Tochi. You're welcome to my channel. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up as you're watching so YouTube can recommend it to more people. Kindly share it to everyone that benefit from it because we all have a lot to learn from it. To all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to this video. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please click on the subscribe button right now. Thank you. Before we get into it, let me quickly tell you all about LEMFI grants. This is good news. So LEMFI is awarding 50 grants of £1,000 each to African international students in the UK. So if you're an
controls, really.
Okay, so quite a lot of tightening across the board from UK View. Now, the Tochi Esther video. This provides a very stark, real-world example, doesn't it? The case of Mr. Ahmed.
It really does. It's quite a complex story. He came initially on a study visa way back in 2006.
Right.
Had a wife in Pakistan. Then, in 2009, he entered into a relationship and, crucially, an Islamic marriage ceremony not legally recognized here automatically with a Polish woman, Miss Lioska. He then got a residence card in 2010, seemingly based on being Miss Lioska's extended family member, which sort of implied he wasn't married to his first wife anymore.
Right, okay. But the timeline gets complicated.
Very. In 2011, he goes back to Pakistan, meets his first wife again, and she becomes pregnant with their fourth child.
Her fourth child, okay.
Then, fast forward to 2016, he applies for permanent residency here based on living 5 years with Mrs. Lioska.
But he didn't mention the fourth child born in Pakistan.
Didn't disclose it, no. His application was initially refused on a technicality about Miss Lioska's status, but he appealed successfully.
So he got permanent residency in 2017?
Yes. And then, in 2018, applied for British citizenship.
And got it.
Granted in August 2018, so at that point, he is a British citizen.
But then,
in December 2018, he applies for his first wife and their 4 children to join him in the UK.
And this application brought everything else to light.
Exactly. It seems in this application, he didn't mention Miss Lioska or the earlier implied divorce. The inconsistencies triggered an investigation.
I see. So the Home Office looked back at the earlier applications.
They did. and concluded his residency, the basis for his citizenship, was obtained through essentially deception.
Because he hadn't really divorced his first wife and had concealed the ongoing relationship and the fourth child.
Precisely.
Yeah.
They determined the residency was granted on a false premise.
And the consequences.
Very serious. November 2019, his British citizenship was revoked.
Revoked. Wow, that's a powerful lesson.
It really is. It shows just how critical it is to be completely accurate and truthful with the Home Office, always.
Even years later, things can unravel.
Absolutely. It highlights the scrutiny involved and the potential consequences of withholding information or being dishonest. A clear warning, really.
Definitely. Okay, so as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, and it's a real mix, isn't it?
It really is.
On one side, we have these potential positives from Nurse Melvis, the wage rise, agency worker rights, maybe free nursing courses, sick pay boost, opportunities there. But then, from UK view and the Tochi Esther case, we see this significant tightening of immigration rules across the board, affecting EU citizens, students, families, healthcare workers, travel, and that stark reminder about honesty.
The overarching message really has to be, stay informed. You need to understand how these rules might affect your specific situation.
Absolutely. Whether you're already here or planning to come, these changes could significantly impact things for you.
Definitely.
We really hope this deep dive has provided some valuable clarity and context around all these updates.
Hope so too.
And now, maybe a final thought for you to ponder. Looking at everything we've discussed, the wage changes, the work opportunities, the immigration restrictions, the citizenship issues, what single area do you think will have the biggest impact on people planning to live or work here in the UK in the next few years?
That's a really interesting question to think about.
Definitely something to mull over.
And we'd encourage you to keep exploring these topics. Maybe even check out those original source videos for more detail. Things change fast.
They certainly do.